Hello, cruisers. Welcome back to our Wednesday night cruise chat. We're VFC, Vacations for Canadians, your go-to Canadian travel agency for everything cruising, Disney, and adventures on land. We missed you guys, and we're thrilled that you hopped on with us tonight. All right, let's meet tonight's crew. Who have we got? We've got Linda, Trisha, Karen, Sherry, Carrie, Matt. We've got a big group here tonight. Karen's going to be taking the spotlight with her presentation on cruise tours, that perfect blend of land and sea to see it all. And tonight, our special guest panel member is Mavis, who is our Princess Cruise Tour expert joining us. All right, got questions? Pop them in the chat anytime. This is live. We will answer your questions, and we want to hear from you, whether they have to do with cruise tours or not. Pop them in there. And as a bonus treat, if you stick around, we have a surprise giveaway at the end just for you guys, our amazing guests. All right, let's dive in, Karen.
Okay, thank you, Tina. So today we are going to be talking about the second part of cruises, or kind of the part B to it. So I like to think about this presentation as of exploring the world beyond the cruise. So we love cruises. That is really where we were born. This is kind of our thing. It's our jam. We love the cruise, but there's also something extra that we want to talk about tonight, and that's the before and after the cruise, and that's the land tours. So when I think about my own travel, I love cruising. I really, really do. I have a lot of passion around it. I cannot wait to get back on board the next cruise ship, but I also love that land piece as well. And if you've ever joined us for previous cruise chats, you'll remember me saying things like, make sure you spend time in the first destination, or make sure you don't rush home right after your cruise is over, because there's so much more to be explored there. And that's a little bit about what this cruise tour idea is. So if you haven't given it any thought, I'd like to share some ideas with you tonight. So if you think about cruising as a Sunday, and Tina, you can attest to this, I love my ice cream. And if I'm on a ship, I've got a cone in my hand, and ice cream sundaes are kind of the cat's meow as far as I'm concerned. So cruising in a Sunday is a great, great thing. If I'm thinking about cruising as being a Sunday, I would say that the cruise tour is the cherry on top and the whipped cream as well. So it's kind of that little extra something to make your vacation even that much more special. So that's what the cruise tour would be to me when I compare the two. So what is a cruise tour really? So of course you understand what a cruise is. If you've been with us on Wednesdays, we've been talking about it all the time. If you follow our Facebook page or website, we are all about cruises. It's about exploring by sea. And of course, the cruise tour part is the anchor either before or after your cruise, which is like your pre or post guided tour. So a pre-tour would allow you to get into that action before you even start your sailing. So you might have a couple days, 3 or 4 days before you join your ship, and it's all guided and planned out for you. Or if it's a post-cruise tour, you would do your cruise first, and after, instead of going home, you would join the cruise group, or the tour group rather, and enjoy some land time before you head even home. So kind of a little bit of fun. So why do travelers love cruise tours? Lots of good reasons why we might want to do this. First things first, it is stress-free planning. So I always do encourage you, as do the other agents, to spend some time with those embarkation or debarkation ports. But there's a bit of planning that's involved in that, isn't there? You've got hotels to plan, you've got maybe transportation, you've got transfers, you've got what am I going to do when I'm there? We spend a lot of time discussing these kinds of options with our clients. But those things do tend to add up a little bit, right? Depending upon what you're actually going to be packing into your days by the time you add those hotels and whatnot. And there's also an opportunity for insider guides. So you're going to have the local guides showing you all those places that you want to go without having to do all that research and figuring out where should I be spending my time and investing it so I really get the most out of my package. You spend more time inland. Again, cruising is amazing, but you do have sometimes limited time to see those embarkation ports or the debarking ports. So this is a great opportunity for you to really, really catch some time and immerse yourself in the culture and spend some time in the restaurants and the tourist attractions and really get to some quality experiences there. And generally speaking, these are going to be smaller groups. So they're curated experiences just for you. You're going to have an intimate group where you're able to kind of really go around and take a look at the different things that the places have to offer. So what is included in your package? Of course, your accommodations are going to be included. So any place that you're going to be staying, it's already pre-planned and booked for you with the cruise tour. You will also have any transfers and baggage handling. So that's a really nice perk. So you show up at the airport, there's somebody waiting for you. They're going to bring you to the hotel if it's a pre-cruise tour. They're going to take care of your bags, or even going to be moving them if you're moving place to place on your tour. So you don't have to worry about lugging those 100-pound suitcases around with you. You'll also get the tours of local guides that will be included. Anything that they have prescribed for the tour days, that will be all part of your day, and also some meals. So sometimes it's breakfast, sometimes it's breakfast and dinner. It depends on the package, depends upon the tour, depends upon where you are. So when you think of a cruise tour, where do you think it? What comes to mind? What destination comes first? Chat it in the chat there and let me know what you're thinking. If you've had the opportunity to see any of Mavis's princess presentations before, she gives a lot of discussion around this particular place because it is really one of those fantastic areas to actually do a cruise tour for. I wonder if anybody has said Alaska. Alaska is always the one that comes to mind because people enjoy that one-way destination to Alaska, and then they want a little bit more. So they want to do that cruise tour, which actually goes deeper inland and gives that full experience of Alaska. Now, I know when I did my Alaskan cruise, it was amazing. It was 7 days, returned out of Seattle. It was fantastic. But I did come home and I said, I really need to see more of it. So while I kind of scratched the surface a little bit, this cruise tour would give you the opportunity to go inland either after your cruise. If you're going, say, northbound, it would be after your cruise. Or you can start there and head southbound and do your cruise tour before you even begin your cruise. So what would an Alaska cruise tour look like? So we're not going to spend a lot of time on the details because there's so many options. This particular one happens to be one through Princess Cruises, and you can stay either 6 to 9 nights in the Denali area, and you will have opportunities to go on the Alaska Rail Service. You'll be able to take a tour into Denali National Park and spend some time in Fairbanks and Anchorage. Now, I wonder if some people are saying, well, how much is this going to cost? You've got your cruise, you've got your tour. I just pulled one up this afternoon for an August sailing, mid-August, 10 days. So you're 7 days in cruise and then 3 days with a guided tour. And it was at a very, very good price of just under $8,000. So it is quite affordable, especially when you consider all the things that are included. Some meals, you've got your tours, you've got your hotel and whatnot. So then this one's probably going to be close to Matt's heart because I know he's heading to Japan and he's in the throes of planning right now. So he's got a lot of ideas boggling around for his hosted tour. In this case, this would be a pre or post tour in Tokyo. So a lot of different cruise lines will offer these particular pre and post tours. I just did a bit of a sampling just to show you what's possible. Of course, if you've got some destinations in mind, I invite you to talk with your Vacations for Canadians agent, and they can help get things kind of lined up for you as far as when you want to go, what type of cabin you want, and all that good stuff. So in this particular case, you'd be spending some time in Tokyo before you join your cruise. So you'd have a few overnights in Tokyo, you'd visit the Meiji Shrine, you'd go to the Imperial Palace, visit the temple and the shopping street that kind of goes up to it, and explore the Tokyo Tower. Now, of course, you can do this on your own, but it would take a little bit more orchestrating and planning to figure out how am I going to get from point A to point B? And what am I going to do when I get there? And how much is it going to cost me when I go into those places? So in this case, the cruise tour is going to take care of all of that for you and make sure that it's all kind of lined up. So you just basically show up and away you go with your group for the day. Another great one will be in Iceland. So in here, you can start or end in Reykjavik. Again, a great tour that NCL is offering. It's got 3 nights hotel with your breakfast with your stay. You get your airport to hotel transfers. You go to the hot springs. You go to the waterfalls, national parks. You go see the geysers, transfer to and from the ship. Again, a fantastic way to go and see all the highlights of Reykjavik before you even join your cruise. And you can also do one, if you wanted to say a river cruise, you can do one that goes into Switzerland. So this particular one is through Emerald Cruises, and it has a 3-night hotel stay in Zurich. And you would get your breakfast included with that, as well as your transportation. So again, you don't have to think about any of these things. It's really just all a matter of going in and just following the leader, basically, and they will take care of it from there. Here, you'll get a guided tour through Cologne's Old Town. You'll go on the Glacier Express train ride through the Alps. I mean, how does it get better than that when you're in Switzerland? Just to really enjoy that time and seeing it through, through the windows of a train as well before you get on your cruise. You get a guided tour and do some hiking if you'd like to do some as well. So bear in mind that there's different activity levels when it comes to the cruises and some of the cruise tours. In some cases, it can be kind of on your own, where you've got a couple of days where it's the basics. It's your hotel. It's maybe a few little things that you might want to do. But for the most part, you could be spending the time on your own. And then there's others that are a bit more prescribed with your time, and it actually has an itinerary where you're going place to place to place. So do give that some consideration if it is something you're thinking about doing, and let your travel advisor know what you have in mind so that we can best plan for you what you're actually looking to do and make sure that it's the right thing for you. So wondering if a cruise tour is right for you. Well, a cruise tour is amazing for a first-time cruiser who wants a bit more adventure. So we hear all the time that people are so excited about their cruise, but this is a great way to make it a full vacation with that extra piece on the before or the end side of it to really, really immerse yourself in the local culture, like I said. It's also great for those bucket listers who maybe have done the cruise, but they haven't done that extra piece to it. They don't have the cherry on top just yet. They've enjoyed the Sunday, but they're looking for something that goes a little bit beyond the port of call. Also ideal for couples or seniors or solo travelers. So if you're looking to do something where you don't want to have to do all the planning, it can be a lot of work to plan these extra events, but certainly a great way to take full advantage of traveling solo. You've got a group of people who you're traveling with. You're going to be able to see all those sites and whatnot, and not have to worry about that transportation of how am I going to get from point A to point B. And really, it's great for anybody who's looking to hit that easy button. So they want to just show up. It's one price. You've got it taken care of. You paid for it, and away you go. You're good to set sail and enjoy the fullest, and not have to worry about all those little details because somebody's taking care of it for you. So the one quick tip I'm going to leave you with is to be sure that you're booking early. So of course, as you know, those cruises book up very quickly. In order for this all to work, you've got to have a space on the cruise ship as well as a space in the cruise tour. So if you've got something in mind, definitely a good idea to book it early because you will get disappointed if you're not able to kind of get everything together. It's only on select sailings as well. So every cruise that we offer does not have an adjoining cruise tour with it. There are certain ships and certain locations that they're actually known for. I've highlighted a few today, but there's a lot of others that we could talk about as well. But essentially be sure that where you want to go is going to be having those anchor spots of it. Also knowing that if it's an open jaw tour or cruise rather, where you're starting in one destination and in the other, there's a good chance that it would be on either side. So it won't be on both necessarily. So always a good idea to chat through it with your travel advisor to see what you have in mind and get that in early because you want to make sure that you've got your cabin secured.
All right. Thank you so much, Karen. That was great. I know from my own experience that Alaska tends to pretty much sell out every year. So it's one of those things that you want to book as soon as you know you want to hit somewhere. I would say, contact us and then we can let you know best time to book it. But I do know Alaska is, you want to book that at least a year out because it's slim pickings at this point. I'm surprised you found something there, Karen.
I was surprised too. Too.
And I do want to say I'm sure that was the price for two people that you found.
It was, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So at Vacations for Canadians, we tend to always talk in total price, no calculator needed. Whereas a lot of other agencies use per person because they're, trying to make it seem like less. Whereas we'd rather just give you the total so that you know upfront what you're looking at and then you can make your decisions from there. So, all right. Well, I'm going to hand it over to Linda, who is going to handle our Q&A portion.
Yeah. So we have a bit of a quiet crowd tonight. They've been holding back. It's been a month since we've all been here ready to chat. So we haven't got any questions yet, but I'm going to start off with some questions and hopefully we'll go around the panel and make sure that everybody has an opportunity.
Linda, I have a question. Yes. Did you decorate your house exactly the same as mine?
Well, I put my piano to the other side because I didn't want to copy exactly. If you saw what my house really looked like, you'd be horrified. So this is what we're going with. All right. So we are really lucky to have Mavis here tonight from Princess Cruises. So I'm going to start with Mavis and I'm going to put her on the spot. And I know Princess, we kind of said, oh, cruise, cruise tours, but not Alaska. Go somewhere other than Alaska. But Princess is really known for Alaska. So maybe Mavis, if you want to just kind of give us like your top reasons why they want to do Alaska and why they want to do it with Princess.
Okay, first of all, let me know. And why to do Alaska? Absolutely, because even for myself, I want to see the nature. I want to see the wildlife. This is the main reason for me to go to Alaska, and also glaciers as well. But for me, because I have been talking to a lot of clients and consumers, and several reasons they want to do Alaska, because they can do round trip Vancouver. Is a great method, and it is a great way for family and friends go together and easy to gather together. And also is a great destination for family gathering or incentive groups or meeting as well. So there's a lot of reasons you will choose to go to Alaska. And for me, I got an opportunity to do a land portion for Alaska. I like it so much. It was a 5-night. And I stayed 2 nights in Denali National Park. I was able to go into the park. I could see a lot of wildlife more than human beings, because nowadays, if you go to Rocky, it's so busy. But Alaska still preserve the nature. Not many people. I really, really enjoy it. And I enjoy the train because it's a double-decker, and I was sitting on the top floor. I really enjoy sitting there with the 360-degree glass dome windows, and just went out to the outdoor railing platform to enjoy the view along the way. And of course, the price is much more affordable when you're thinking about doing a glass dome train in North America. So I highly recommend that. And so far in 2025, we have more than 61 choices of Alaska cruise tour. I really hope someone getting a lot more people to get a chance to see more of Alaska by the land tour, especially a cruise tour.
Amazing. Thank you, Mavis. So I'll go around the table and I'll just get everyone's what their pick would be if they were going to recommend a cruise tour or a destination that would be a great place to do a cruise tour. What would you recommend? And we'll start with Karen. We'll go to Tina, down to Matt, Trisha, then Sherry, and Carrie.
So I would probably choose Japan, actually, because it is a little bit more difficult, I think, for some people to plan. So it's one that I would like to say, I'm good. I know I'm going to hit the highlights, and I know I'm going to get there, without having to work too hard. So that's what I would probably pick when I was looking at them. There's some beautiful options there, and a great way to anchor onto a nice, round trip kind of Japan cruise.
So you're going to hop on Matt's hosted, and then
I would love to
do the before and after, right?
Yeah, he just doesn't know it yet, but I'm going to show up with my bags and hope they've got a cabin for me. Yeah, I'm going to hope so. I think it's probably sold out, but yes, sounds like a dream.
Okay. How about you, Tina?
I am going to go with somewhere that I didn't even know existed until I got onto the continent, and that was Iguazu Falls. And that has probably been one of the most spectacular places in the world that I've ever seen. And I know that there's cruise lines out there that have that pre and post. It's actually a chartered flight out of Buenos Aires or Rio de Janeiro. I think it's about a 2.5, 3 hour flight there. You tend to stay 3 days, 2 nights is typical, although I'm sure I've seen some longer, because you want to see the Argentina side and the Brazil side of the falls. It blows Niagara Falls away. I know Niagara Falls produces more electricity. There's more water pouring over per, gallons per minute or whatever. But it is just spectacular, and it's like 3 miles long. It is just something so stunning that everybody should try and get there in their lifetime.
Wow. Added to bucket list. And Matt, I mean, if you want to talk Japan, we can.
No. Well, I'll shift away from ocean cruises, and I'll focus on river, because another one that we're working towards is a river cruise on the Danube. So, I mean, the beauty of being in Europe is that there are so many different countries that are in such close proximity that you can really do a unique kind of pre-cruise tour, because there's so many different places that you can hit in a short period of time. So for us, we have the fortune of sailing out of Budapest in Hungary. So, I mean, we have Hungary right there. Austria is not very far away. And I mean, just with a rental car and a couple of days, you can really do some great self-exploring. Or the unique thing with some of these different river cruise lines is that they will bundle on a pre-cruise extension where you can have a tour where the cruise lines will provide a guide, they'll provide city tours, the accommodations, and basically look after all the planning for you so that you can remove that stress from you and have someone else look after all of that touring for you before you even get on the ground, and look after the transfers and accommodations for you. So I would do some time in Europe, because I haven't been in those areas of Europe since I was in my very early 20s. So I'm much looking forward to going back and seeing it 30 years later.
Amazing. Trisha, how about you? What would be on your pick list?
So Mavis stole my idea. I haven't had the chance to do an Alaskan cruise yet, and my dream is to take the train back southbound, because I love and want to see all of the nature, the wildlife and all of that. Plus I want to go like gold panning and do all those fun things in Alaska.
I'm all for the gold panning. You have to come back though, even if you strike it rich. All right, we're going to head down to Carrie and see what she says.
The cruise tour that I did, highly recommend, is the Galapagos. So you can book the Galapagos to cruise by itself, but because it's so hard to get to, you basically start in Quito and then you have to fly over to Baltra and catch the ship there. So to alleviate all those logistical nightmares, the best thing to do is a cruise tour. I literally booked, and I did a last minute opportunity. So I booked. I had no idea what I was doing. I just knew what day to show up and what day to leave. I showed up at Quito Airport, and they basically took my luggage, met me there, escorted me all the way to the end until I got back on my flight to come back to Canada. So it was, all the hotels were covered. There is a flight also covered from Quito to Baltra, all the transfers, the buses, and there's even a full day Quito tour that's highly recommended. So that would be my pick.
That's not, you know what? Galapagos is one of those things. Every time I hear people talk about it, or I watch the videos or look at the pictures, I'm like, oh man, I got to get there. It looks so incredible. Love it. And we're gonna ask Sherry. Now, Sherry is our, as well as selling our traditional cruise line, Sherry is our Disney Universal expert. So I'm gonna take a wild guess here that her land portion might have something magical about it.
It's quite possible, yeah. So I've noticed, well, and I'm sure we all know, Disney cruises, a lot of them, and a large majority of them are short, 3-day, 4-day, 5-day. It's rare to see 7 and longer. They're there, but most often we do shorter ones. So I really like to stack mine, and every time I've gone on a Disney cruise, I then get on the nice little Disney bus when I get off the ship. So my vacation isn't over. They take me straight to my resort, and then I start phase 2 of vacation and do Disney. So that is not all in one thing, but we can help with that. Vacations are magical vacations for Canadians, for sort of booking a tandem trip that way. That's always my choice.
Everything magical for Sherry. So we do have our first question, and we're counting on the rest of you. We've got a great panel tonight. We've got so many experts that it'd be a shame for you not to take advantage of their expertise. But we're going to start with the first question, and it comes from Cheryl, and she is saying, dreaming of a Mediterranean cruise in 2026, thinking of Greece, but would also be open to Holland. Suggestions of time to book and what to look for to get an awesome deal. So again, we're going to defer first to our special guest from Princess. We're going to ask Mavis.
Actually, can we just clarify? Did she mean Holland as in the Netherlands or Holland, America?
I'm not sure. Cheryl, you want to pop that into the chat and we'll...
Either is fine. We need clarification.
Sure.
Greece and Holland are very different places too.
Well, maybe before, in case she doesn't answer right away, maybe we can just cover the Greece section of it so that we don't have dead air, and we can at least answer that portion and about times to book and how to get an awesome deal. So we'll let Mavis start, and then maybe we'll start at the other end afterward if Carrie has anything to add, and then we can pop to Matt, Trisha, Tina, and Karen.
So to go to Greece in 2026, absolutely some great options there. First of all, Sun Princess on a new ship last year. So we'll take you to see Greece. And also, another thing you need to pay attention is the solar eclipse is happening on August 12, 2026. So that means you can sail to Greece and also take advantage to see the solar eclipse in August in 2026. And what time to book? Of course, right now is a good time to book. But we do have a special starting on this the weekend special that's starting on June 20th until 23rd June. So I think it's a great time to talk about that tonight and study some of the great itineraries tomorrow and book through Vacations for Canadians on Friday. I think this is a good and perfect timing.
Awesome. Thank you. Carrie, do you have anything you'd like to add to that?
Sure. You should be looking for 2026 cruise. Best time to book is now. Start looking, even if you don't book now, just start looking and book soon, like within 2 to 3 months. Prices keep going up as the supply keeps going down. So as people keep booking, the prices go up. So you want to lock in a good rate. So Mavis spoke about Greece. If you're interested in Amsterdam, Netherlands, Holland, it's a great place to tour. What I would recommend for that is a post or a pre-cruise. There are ships that go to Amsterdam. Amsterdam is easy to navigate, excellent airport at Schiphol, but you can just stay downtown, walk around. You can even do day tours. We have Viator tours that you can book. So you can even go to Belgium for the day, Bruges. You can go up to Marken, which is a little bit further north in Holland. So you can see the windmills, the tulips, depending on what time of year you go. But it's a great place to visit. So I suggest you just pick out of a hat between Greece and Holland because they're both great.
Or book both, one in 2026, one in 2027. Right. I don't think geography wise they would go back to back. But Matt, do you have anything you'd like to add to that?
I would just say with Greece, like I was just there last year, and I would definitely focus on the shoulder seasons for Greece. So you want to go early or you want to go late into Greece. You do not want to be in that middle summer season. It is absolutely torturous to go during that heat in the dead of summer. It is also the busiest time tourism wise. And so especially if you're in Santorini and you're trying to get that cable car, you could be in line for hours, or you have to take the treacherous donkey hill going down those thousands of stairs, which I would not recommend to anybody, having done it myself. So I would say stick to the shoulder seasons of Greece, which is like April, May, or October, November. You'll stay in those cooler months. It is much more comfortable. And then there's less tourism during that time. So you'll be able to see all the beautiful sights and not have the overcrowding that you might experience if you go anywhere in between those two periods.
Great advice. Tina, anything to add to that?
Yeah, so I don't think any one of us have brought up about our groups yet. So we do secure a lot of groups for Europe. And that means that you don't have to be in a group. You can just be one or two people, but we have exclusive rates. So, but let me say this, you need to book early. And the reason is because the more the cruise ship sells out, they might pull our space back. They automatically pull it back anyway, starting usually around 6 months prior to sailing. So you definitely want to get that in before they start scaling our space back. They're taking it back so they can sell it for double. You know that, right? And if you're interested in Princess Cruises, I would say this is the month to book, because you can book into our exclusive rates, and you're going to get the extra perks that Princess has added on this month for you. So great month to book if you're looking at Princess.
Fantastic. Karen, is there anything you could possibly add to that? You're full of wealth of knowledge, so you might be able to.
I don't know if there's much left. I was thinking about the group rates as well. So I think you can really confidently leave the finding the best deal in our hands, because we really know how to sniff those out for you. Either our group rates, if we're far enough advanced, that's really always the way to go. But failing that, we can find out some really good deals. Sometimes it's amazing some of the things we post where it's a special type of cabin or whatnot, and the prices are really, really amazing. So if you let your advisor know what you're looking for, we can do a search for you and take a look and put you on a kind of a watch list type thing to see what we can find, and send out any itineraries that might be of interest.
And Cheryl is thinking of May 2026 because she's going to be celebrating her 47th anniversary. So what a great way to celebrate. I know.
Absolutely.
All right. Another question here. This one's from Marlene, and she asks, how about Barcelona cruise? So maybe we'll let Karen keep going, and she can give us her thoughts on that.
So lots of opportunities to go to Barcelona. Barcelona's an incredible city. It is one that you'd want to spend a bit of time in beforehand as well, because that Spanish Riviera is just incredible if you just hop on a train and go around that area. But lots of cruise lines, including Princess, will leave it at Barcelona. There's some go to Portugal. There's a lot of really amazing places that you can visit from that port town, and you can often return there as well. So it's a great spot.
Tina?
Oh man, I love Barcelona. It's one of my favorite places. And I probably say that about everywhere. It's one of my favorite places. It really is near and dear to my heart. There's so many different things to do in Barcelona that it's kind of crazy. You can't really hit it all. So you have to go back numerous times. But Sagrada Familia, that's stunning, stunning, stunning. Definitely make sure you get there. If you book the cruise tour, I'm sure you're going to get in on the Sagrada Familia. They're going to get you in on Skip the Line and all of that. That's, a must.
Fantastic. Matt?
Yeah, I think the beauty of Barcelona is that you can go two different directions from there and see completely different parts of Europe. So you can start from Barcelona, see some great spots in Spain, and make your way over to Athens, like we were talking about Greece. Or you can go the opposite direction, where you can start in Spain and you can make your way over to Portugal. So you have some real unique itineraries in that area that you can hit, and the best wines ever. So if you are somebody who enjoys a nice glass of wine, those are the regions to hit. You're either going through southern Italy and making your way over to Greece, or you're going the other way and you're going to hit Portugal. And it's absolutely the best wines in the region.
Okay, I have to take a break now and go get a glass of wine. No, I'm just kidding. All right, Mavis, how about you? Any insights for us on Barcelona?
I think basically your team has talked so much. So basically, I don't have much more to add. But basically, Princess Cruises have a lot of cruises starting from Barcelona. So that will be matching your topic today. So cruise tour. So before you're starting you disembark your cruise in Barcelona, you should join a line tour. So maybe yourself, or you join a Princess Cruise tour as well. There's a lot of options available.
Okay, and I'm actually going to pop on a secondary question because it looks like that was lots of information for Marlene. She says thank you very much. But Kate jumped in and said, what is the one thing that can't be missed in Barcelona? So we'll start with Carrie.
Oh my gosh, one thing?
Just one.
I went with my family, young kids, big soccer fans. We went to Barca Stadium. That was a highlight of our trip, but that's just one thing.
You
It's hard
only
to
get
pick
one, sorry. And Sherry, if you want to chime in on anything, just give me a wave because I'm kind of skipping you because you're new on the cruise chat. So we'll head back up to Matt. Other than wine, what would you say is the one thing that can't be missed?
Well, Tina already touched on Sagrada Familia, so I won't go with that one. But sticking with Gaudi, I would say Park Güell. I would say Park Güell is absolutely stunning. Being able to walk through the trails, to be able to see the houses that are built there, to see all the unique dome features that you can walk through, and the seated area that is all built out of broken porcelain plates that they turn into all these beautiful benches that are, it's almost like a stained glass arrangement, and it's absolutely stunning. And every single seating area is different from the last, and it all goes in a beautiful curvature with a courtyard in the center of it, which is just gorgeous to see.
Sounds incredible. Mavis, what would be your thoughts on that?
So my thought would be you have to visit their local market because you're going to experience a lot of local food. And also one thing that's popped up into my mind, you have to eat their fruits. They have a lot of places like right at the market. You can enjoy the fruits, and the prices. When I was there, the prices were so cheap, and that's something that you don't want to miss.
Fantastic. Now, I know Tina already told us what her favorite thing was, but Kate has mentioned Morocco here, and I know, don't you have a cruise going to Morocco, Tina?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going out of Portugal though, so we won't be heading over to that side of the I don't know what you call it. It's not a country because it's two countries, but we won't be heading over to that side of the Mediterranean.
Awesome. And Karen, any last thoughts on Barcelona?
I really love Las Ramblas. Yes. I mean, just take a walk up and down Las Ramblas. It's a pedestrian area. Watch your bags, though, because it is kind of known for pickpocketers, but they've got all kinds of buskers that are out, and they have little pop-up restaurants and whatnot. And it's just a really nice place to people watch and maybe have a snack or have some dinner there, have some wine, apparently. But it is definitely a nice little stroll up and down any time of day. It's busy and lots of fun.
And if I could add one more, Linda, for Barcelona, is that you have to go see a flamenco show. You are there, you have to immerse yourself in that culture, and they are unbelievable. We took a group there to see a flamenco show with tapas, and oh my gosh, it was the best night.
Sounds incredible. So there you go. Everybody's got all their list of things to do when they book their cruise and head to Barcelona. We have another question here from Tina, who spells her name the same way as you.
I know. Tina.
And she says, first-time cruisers booked for November have no idea what to expect, from how to board to what happens after you board. Any advice for new cruisers? And I know that, new cruisers are a group. Myself, I was one of them last year. I can now say I'm a veteran of one cruise, but our team is a wealth of knowledge. Stop laughing at me. So we'll start where we ended off with Karen and then work our way back again.
Okay, so what to expect? Well, just expect it's going to be easy peasy. So before you board, you're going to have your time to check in. You'll have all your paperwork. You'll have your passport, everything you need to get onto the ship, and you will get on around that time, and then drop your bags off if you're able to, and then start enjoying your cruise. It's really, it is guided through end to end. From the time you arrive at your port, if you've got all your information there, you just check in. It's easy peasy. They've made it very seamless for you. Before you go, you'll probably have to upload your photo into the app and make sure you get your check-in time. But really, it is quite seamless. There's nothing to worry about. You might want to think about things like if your ship requires any reservations for dining or for shows, that's something you might want to take care of on day one if you haven't done so already, just to make sure that you've got the pick of the litter. And then just start your vacation. Just go to the ice cream stand or grab a burger or something and just start your vacation.
Sounds awesome. All right, so we'll probably just we'll go to Tina for your, I guess, advice for new cruisers. Maybe everybody can kind of throw one thing out there because I think
Sure.
Karen definitely covered what to expect and how to board.
Okay, well, so I'm going to give you one thing, and that would be to pop on Facebook or Cruise Critic, I think it is, that has the groups, and find your sailing, and you'll start chatting with like-minded people. You might even meet up with them. They're going to give you ideas on what tours to book, and it really is usually a great wealth of knowledge, but I know somebody else after me is going to give you a better source of knowledge. But I'll leave that for somebody else.
All right. Matt? Is Matt frozen or is he just thinking?
I think he's frozen. Oh, there he is.
Sorry, it was buffering there. I'm unfrozen now. You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure all of these cruise chats end up on YouTube, on our YouTube channel for Vacations for Canadians. And we've actually gone into quite extensive detail about first-time cruisers and helping alleviate any of those concerns that you might have and giving you all kinds of neat tips and tricks. So my recommendation would be to check out our YouTube page and watch our cruise chat on first-time cruisers.
Oh,
I think we've actually done it a few times too. So the whole presentation.
Yeah, we definitely have lots of resources on our website. And if you booked through us, we also have a know before you go, which is really helpful. But I'm going to pass it off to Mavis. And what would your tips be?
So for the first time cruisers, I would check out the ship specifically, like the size of the ships, and what's the activities available on the ships, and what's the entertainment, what's the dining options available on the ships, all these, and check out like what can I utilize to all these facilities and amenities to make my vacation perfect. And of course, on Princess Cruises, for first-time cruisers, you need to pay attention how to play with your medallion and also the Princess app. So I think this is a must.
Awesome. Sherry, do you have any tips for first-time cruisers? You've been on cruises, so I feel like you'll have something to share.
Yes, I have. Sometimes, I mean, I'm not sure about you, Tina, but when you're going on cruises with kids, often that first day of boarding is the only opportunity you have to go and explore the kids' spaces or the kids' clubs with your children. So if they're a little nervous or a little shy about it, that's a time to check it out with them. Generally, after day one, parents aren't allowed in those spaces. So it's a good time to check out those spaces and get everybody a little more comfortable with it or excited about it.
Ooh, that is a good tip. All right, Carrie?
Everyone's covered it, but Karen touched on getting on this checking in. So when you're allowed to check in, try and get an early time. I like starting my vacation as early as possible. So if it's 11 in the morning, I'm there waiting. But sometimes when you do get an early check-in, you can't go to your cabin because you have to remember people are just getting off at 9 o'clock, 2 hours earlier. So they're still cleaning the cabins. So make sure you pack accordingly. They will take your suitcases before you go into the terminal or in the terminal before you get on the ship, and they'll deliver them straight to your cabin. But pack a little backpack if you want to go, if it's a super hot day and you want to go straight to the pool, make sure you bring a bathing suit or your laptop, any medication. Just make sure you pack that separate and you can hold on to that until your cabin's available.
Great advice. So my piece of advice as a first-time cruiser recently would be to research your shore excursions ahead of time. So I hedged on what we were going to do, and then I was scrambling on board when I realized, oh, maybe this isn't a walkable port, or maybe I'm not as comfortable in, this country being, with just me and my girls going somewhere by cab. So I would say, take a look at your ports and plan your shore excursions ahead. Even if you don't book them, have a sense of whether you want to do something on shore or whether you're just going to kind of fly by the seat of your pants. And then Kate is sharing her advice. Thanks, Kate. You've joined our panel. She says, don't overplan your day. You never know what's going to pop up during the day. If planning too many things off the bat, you might have a dilemma about what to do. That's great advice, Kate. So thank you. See, we have experts in our chat. We have experts on our screen. It's awesome. So we are 7:45, and I think unless there's anything else, maybe Tina, if you want to just do a little wrap up first. Oh, we have to do a giveaway.
There was another question about favorite things in Portugal that we missed.
Was there? I'm sorry.
Oh, nope, that's not the one. Whoops.
Oh, there it is. Oh, nope. That's the wrong one. Sorry, the one underneath. Favorite things in Portugal. My bad. All right. We'll start with Matt and kind of go from the middle outwards. So Matt, favorite things in Portugal.
Well, not to beat a dead horse, but I'm going to say it again, the wine. That would definitely be at the top of my list. The wine, the food. I am all about the anything red is going to go in my glass, and there is an abundance of it there. But there's also some amazing food, and so. Back in Canada, there isn't as many, unless you find those niche neighborhoods where you can find like a Portuguese restaurant or deli or anything like that, where you can find some of those unique dishes, then, having that experience to be able to go there, especially in Lisbon. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I would definitely say the food and wine.
Fantastic. We're going to pop right over to Mavis.
Basically, same as Matt. I would say food, but in terms of food, I want to emphasize fish. I have really good fish at that time when I was there, and also the prices were just too good to be true. So I really want to go back and have fish again.
That sounds delicious. All right. So we are going to we'll pop down to Carrie, and then we'll pop up for our last two. So Carrie?
I'm not going to pretend I know. I've never been to Portugal.
Okay.
Still on my list to many places to visit. So I'll pass it off.
All right. So up to Tina.
Well, I'm with Carrie. As much as I've seen the world, I have never been to Portugal. But my bucket list is to go on the Douro River. So, I mean, it's just wineries. If you've seen pictures of the river cruising down the Douro River, wow, I really want to see that one day.
Sounds like you should go on a cruise with Matt, who can host it, and you guys can just drink wine all day.
Drink lots of everything red goes in our glass.
All right.
A celebrity river cruise in 2027.
Yeah, that's not going to be the Douro, unfortunately. It's going to be the Rhine or the Danube, but hey.
Yeah.
All right. And Karen?
So I'm kind of taking a bit of a blend of a lot of the things, like the food that was delicious, but I would say do a fado, which is a kind of a dinner show kind of thing where you get a cultural experience where it's rather intense. It can be anyways, where they take it very, very seriously, where you've got, dinner in a small dining room, kind of like a family style type thing. And they've got music going and the whole bit. It is really quite a cultural experience that I would definitely recommend you experience for yourself.
Amazing. All right. That sounds great. I'm excited. I want to go on a vacation right now.
We can make that happen.
Matt and Rick make that happen this week. I'm kind of jealous.
All right. I think we're on to our giveaway then, because I think we've wrapped up all the questions. It looks like Kate's question about which river got answered in the chat. So I am going to... I'm going to show you what we're giving away. So we have brand new swag. So I don't know if you can see this. So it's a luggage tag with our...
Well, you're just little tiny in the corner of our screen, Linda.
Fine. Okay, here.
There you go.
All right. So our new branding, beautiful, new, and this you can't feel it, but it's like a leather-like luggage tag. So
Linda,
you
are
might
you just giving one? Are you being cheap and just giving one?
I don't know, Tina. I was only given one, so.
Well, let's give two. I'm feeling
Okay.
generous.
All right, then I'm gonna have to drive over to your house and pick some more up. All right, so we're gonna do a giveaway for 2 of those lovely luggage tags, and I am going to present my screen. So as always, if we come up in the comments, then we will leave it be, but we're hoping for a winner that is not us. Oh, hey, good. Marlene. Yay. All right, Marlene, I will put my email in the chat so that you can reach out to me with your address so we can get that out to you.
Congratulations.
Okay, Tina, back to you.
Oh, we don't have a topic yet for next month. Well, we'll have to get back to you guys on that. I think that's just something that's sitting in my inbox right now. So when we figure out what our topic will be for next month, we will be sharing it on our social media. Do we have a date, Linda?
We do not have a date yet. We are Christmas. What month are we in? We're in June. So next month is Christmas in July. So I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna say maybe mid-month. We haven't picked it yet. That's what happens. We got lazy because we didn't have to do it every week. Now we're like, oh my gosh, we haven't done anything.
Yeah. Well, we will definitely share that on social. So we will let you know, and we will be back next month. And Linda has put on the screen all the ways to contact us. There's also, if you already have your agent, feel free to reach out to them directly at any time. And we're always here to help you pre, during, post, anytime. Answer your questions. All right. Good night, everybody. Have a great rest of your week.
And thanks, Mavis, for joining us.
Yeah, sorry, Mavis. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I want to say hi to Karen. I was unmuted.
Good night,
All
everyone.
right. Thanks, everyone.
Good night,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.
Good night.